What is up, everybody? It is JT Sports. I am back to you guys with another video. I'm here with my Los Angeles Rams 2021 record prediction. Going to be giving you guys my best case scenario, my worst case scenario, and my overall record prediction for the LA Rams this upcoming season. Before I get into it, if you haven't already, make sure that you guys like the video. That like button is really important because when you hit that like button, it helps me rank higher in the YouTube search algorithm. And if I rank higher in the YouTube search algorithm, I get more viewership on the channel and it helps the channel grow. Also, make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I upload a new video. The LA Rams finished second in the NFC West last year. They went 10-6. And I believe that this team should have been in the NFC Conference Championship game playing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I feel like Jared Goff held this team back. I honestly do. And I know there's a lot of Lions fans who are probably going to come to Jared Goff's defense and whatnot. I don't care what Rams fans want to try to justify Jared Goff. The truth is that Jared Goff has regressed ever since 2018. So you trade him to Detroit, you send a couple of first-round picks, and you get Matthew Stafford in return. Now, Matthew Stafford is a really talented quarterback. And a lot of people are going to realize just how talented he is with the LA Rams now that he has Sean McVay as his head coach. And I've already explained why Matthew Stafford is going to have a phenomenal season for the Rams. You guys can go ahead and check out those videos. Not going to waste a lot of time with that, but the Rams are a super talented team on the offensive side of football. You got Cooper Kupp at wide receiver. You have Deshaun Jackson. You got Van Jefferson. You got Robert Woods. You got Darrell Henderson and Cam Akers as your two running backs. That's going to be a really good 1-2 punch this year. Even though it's suspected for Cam Akers to get the majority of the workload, still can't forget about Darrell Henderson, and you have a top 12 offensive line, and you have Sean McVay, one of the best offensive minds in the game. I think 15-2 is the best case scenario for the Rams. And I know a lot of you guys who are non-Rams fans are going to say, I'm overrating the Rams. I'm sipping the Kool-Aid per se. But hey, man, if I'm sipping the Kool-Aid, I'm drinking the whole entire bottle, man. I'm going all in on the LA Rams. I feel like the Rams have the best chance of beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this season in the NFC Conference Championship game. I honestly do. I understand that you lost John Johnson in free agency, really great safety who signed with the Cleveland Browns, and you lost your defensive coordinator in Brandon Staley to the LA Chargers. He's now their head coach. But Raheem Morris is a pretty good defensive coordinator. I think that the Atlanta Falcons definitely gave him some consideration for their head coaching gig, because when he took over as the interim head coach for Atlanta, their defense improved and that whole entire team improved. Even though they didn't have a winning record at the end, that team was still better under Raheem Morris than what it was under Dan Quinn. So I think Raheem Morris is going to do wonders as the DC for the Rams. Now, they may not have the best defense in football like they did under Brandon Staley last year, but I definitely feel like this can still be a top 10 defense, top 5 at best. And the schedule, I mean, it really lines up. I think you can beat the Bears week 1. You go on the road, face Indianapolis team that I question how good they're going to be getting pressure on the quarterback. Aside from DeForest Buckner, I don't really know about that pass rush. Then you got to play Tampa. So for the Rams, I definitely think that these are some really good games that they're going to be in this year. But I feel like they're the second most talented team in the NFC. Now, my worst case scenario for the Rams is 11-6. Now, I think that the defense does have some positions of concern. Linebacker, I don't think it's bad, but I think that it's a little bit, of a question mark. Okay. You lost Brandon Staley. Like I mentioned, the defense definitely probably is going to have a drop-off. I don't think this is going to be the best defense in the NFL. But you do have Aaron Donald, who is the best defensive player in the league. And you got Jalen Ramsey, who is arguably the best cornerback in the league. So I still think this defense should be pretty solid. But definitely think this defense isn't going to be the best defense of the league this year like it was last season under Staley. And on top of that, I don't think the floor is that low. I think the ceiling's really high, but I don't think the floor is that low for the Rams. Like, even if things go wrong, I still think this team should be going 11-6. Now, before I get into my final prediction for the Rams, I want to talk about my swing games for this season, for this Rams team. Now, swing games are not must-win games, but these are season-defining games. These are games that if you're a Rams fan, you're going to look back on the year and you're going to say, okay, if we would have won this game, our season could have went this way. Or we won this game, and that's why our season went the way that it did. Week 3 against Tampa Bay is a really huge game. A really huge game because I feel like this probably could be a preview of the NFC Conference Championship game. I feel like we most definitely are going to see the Buccaneers and the Rams face off again in January in the NFC Conference Championship game. I feel like these are two of the best teams in this conference. And you look at all of the problems that the Rams gave Tampa Bay when they messed up last year. Aaron Donald train wrecked Tampa Bay's offensive line. And if you can get pressure on Tom Brady, that's the biggest key to slowing down Tom Brady. You get in his face and you get a couple of hits on him, he gets kind of shaky. He gets kind of a little bit paranoid. So you look at the Rams, I feel like they match up the best out of any other team in the NFL against the Buccaneers. They have the cornerbacks that can match up. You have Aaron Donald, you have the pass rush, and the Buccaneers have a really great defense, but you have wide receivers, you have a great offensive line, and you got a really good group of running backs who can definitely give the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a lot of problems. And you got a way better quarterback now than what you had last season in Matthew Stafford. Then that Week 17 game, you got to go on the road and face the Baltimore Ravens. And this game is really big because at this point, I think you pretty much already clinched your playoff spot, but you're trying to get that #1 seed. And the Ravens are definitely not a team that you want to play within the last 2 weeks trying to lock up that #1 overall seed so you can get that home field advantage in that first round bye. So that's going to be a really tough game. And the Ravens are definitely a team that, like the Rams, are in that Super Bowl conversation. The difference is the Ravens are in that Super Bowl conversation in the AFC. The Rams are in that Super Bowl conversation for the NFC. Then you got to face San Francisco. So for the Rams at this point of the year, you should have the playoffs already locked up. You're trying to get that 1 seed. And it's not going to be easy because you got to face Seattle. You got to face Minnesota. You got to face the Ravens like we just talked about. And you end your season off facing the 49ers. So it's going to be really tough. But I think that the Rams, my overall prediction is going to be 14-3. I think that they're going to end up being one of the best teams in all of the NFL. I think they're either going to have the best record or the second best record in this conference. And I'm drinking all the Kool-Aid. Listen. I'm all in on the Rams this year. I definitely believe that the Rams can make it to the Super Bowl this year. I really believe that. And a lot of people are going to come in. You're going to say, you're overrating the Rams. I'm not trying to hear that nonsense. The Rams, in my opinion, are the team that has the best shot of any other team in this conference of beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the conference championship game. The Buccaneers return all of their starters from their championship winning team. I think that the Packers don't really have a great chance. I mean, who else? Like the 49ers? I mean, yeah, the 49ers have the talent and whatnot, but I don't think they have the quarterback. Like the Rams have a perfect storm this year to make it to the Super Bowl. They really do. I really felt like Jared Goff held this team back with his inconsistent play. Matthew Stafford is going to get this team to the top. And for all them Lions fans who've been saying that Matthew Stafford wasn't great and he couldn't win the playoffs, Matthew Stafford is going to show everybody what Detroit was doing wrong. Everybody's going to look back at this season once Matthew Stafford puts up career numbers and takes the Rams to the conference championship game, and they're going to look back, they're going to say, wow, man, why couldn't he do this with the Detroit Lions? So let me know how good you guys feel the Rams are going to be this year. Make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and college football videos. Like the video, share the video on your social media platforms with your friends, family, and acquaintances. And thanks for watching.